Hey everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it's time for another video. This time out, it is my monthly pickups video for February of 2026. And I don't remember what I said I was going to do this month. I thought maybe I might be cutting back a little bit. Last month's haul was pretty big. This month's haul is pretty big, and it is what it is. Got a lot of new releases. I got some blind buys. I got some purchases for stuff that I didn't have in my collection that I wanted in my collection that I've already seen. And from a lot of different places this time. I got Amazon and eBay, but I also have stuff in here from Temu, which I've never ordered from before. I probably won't again, but I did it. And then I got one from Walmart, and then another one from direct from the manufacturer of the Blu-ray, and that'll be the last thing I show you today. So let's get started with Amazon. A lot of new releases. I have not watched this one yet. This is Predator Badlands, the 4K edition. I've heard great things about this, wanted to complete my Predator collection. I'll be watching this fairly soon. I know Jim really liked this, and I've heard a lot of really great things about this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this, but I have not watched it yet. One thing I did watch and then picked up was Sisu: Road to Revenge, the sequel to Sisu, which came out a few years ago and I really loved. This one is, as Jim reminded me that I said, it's like a Roadrunner cartoon, a live-action Roadrunner cartoon, and that's really what it is. It's a lot of fun. Some people compare this to the John Wick movies. I've only seen the first John Wick movie, so I don't know how valid the comparison is, but all I know is these are a hell of a lot of fun. Turn your brain off and just watch, in this case, Russians get slaughtered by the Finnish superhero guy. So I'm not even sure what his name is. The Man Who Refuses to Die. Stephen Lang's in this one too, and he actually makes a great rival for Sisu. So, or not Sisu, whatever his name is. Also picked this up. I mentioned this on Talking Movies with Sean Kinney and Jim. This was my #1 pick for romantic movies, and Song Sung Blue with Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. I was going to call her Kate Winslet there for a second. A lot of fun. This is not typically a movie that I would like or would think I would really like, but my wife wanted to watch it, so I watched it with her. She's a big Neil Diamond fan, and I enjoyed it more than she did. I really loved this. I thought, yeah, it's got some hokey bits, but overall, it's based on a true story. I want to see the documentary that it's based on, because these are actual people. This is a real story, and I don't know how true to life it is, but this was a lot of fun. Definitely recommend this one, so check this one out. And then Amazon did a nice little sale on this. I wasn't planning on picking this up, but I figured I would do an upgrade on this. It's the Nightmare on Elm Street 7 film collection, the 4K. I picked this up. I don't remember what it cost, but I know it was a very significant price reduction, almost half off if I remember correctly. So I couldn't pass that up, so I picked it up. Obviously I don't have the sweater steelbook or whatever that everybody's clamoring for, but I'm just happy to have the movies, and this includes digital codes as well, which is cool. I've heard that Nightmare on Elm Street 4 Dream Master really looks good on 4K, so I'm looking forward to rewatching these. I have not watched these in a long time, so now it's time to give them another watch. I picked this up out of curiosity just because I like my creature features, but this is The Great Alligator. This is an Italian film. This was made by Sergio Martino. I have not seen it. I've heard differing things about it, but it comes with a lot of special features. This is from Severin, so I'm looking forward to watching this. And then last but not least from Amazon, I picked this up. It's yet another Victor Salva movie. I know we all know about Victor Salva being a piece of shit, but I like this movie, Powder. It's not available on Blu-ray, probably never will be available on Blu-ray, so I picked it up on DVD, and this, I mean, it's cheesy, it's predictable, but I really like it. It's one of my favorite movies from the 90s, so I think it's from the 90s. It's hard to say from this because this doesn't have the release date on it, but I think it's from the mid-90s, I believe, but it's never going to come out on Blu-ray, so I figured I'd get it on DVD. Never say never, but I doubt it. All right, the rest of these next ones are from eBay. I talked about this one on Talking Movies with Sean Kenny and Jim too. This was my #1 pick for movies that take place in the snow or in the winter, and that is Never Cry Wolf. When we talked about doing the topic, this is the first movie that came to my mind, and I realized I hadn't seen it in a long time. I knew I loved it, but I also didn't own it. And this is another one from Disney that probably will not come out on Blu-ray. This is again from the period of time when Disney was making films sort of in the, we make adult movies too. So this is a really good movie with Charles Martin Smith and Brian Dennehy. I talked about it at length on Talking Movies with Sean Kenny and Jim, but really good movie. Track this down if you can. It is on Tubi, so if you don't want to watch it on DVD, watch it on Tubi, but definitely check this out. This is a great movie. My curiosity got the best of me, and eBay had it available very cheap. This is the Umbrella edition of Martyrs. I have not seen this yet. This is sort of in the vein of, you know, Human Centipede and Salo and those movies that you have to watch at least once, even though it's really kind of depraved. Irreversible, which I haven't seen either. But I saw this was pretty pricey on Amazon and on eBay. But I picked this copy up. It was $20. So, I mean, it's not a huge savings, but it's a pretty decent savings. And I've wanted to see it for quite a while. And this is the 2008 version, not the American remake. So check this out. Also talked about this one as a honorable mention. I've seen this and realized I had it in my collection on DVD, but I got rid of it. And I wanted to watch it again. It is Frozen from 2010, not that Frozen. This is a horror movie called Frozen. And this was my recommendation of the week on the last episode of the show. This is a really cool movie. You know, keep your expectations low. It's an independent film, but it's really good. And it was directed by Adam Green, who did the Hatchet movies. So yeah, check this one out. This is one that I'm considering to watch for the Halloween 15. I have not seen it in a hell of a long time, but it is Brian De Palma's The Fury with Kirk Douglas and Amy Irving, John Cassavetes. I have not seen this in decades. I can't even remember the last time I saw this, so I'm going to consider this a never before watched for the Halloween 15. Maybe it'll get in, maybe it won't, maybe I'll watch it before then, but I remember this coming out around the same time as Scanners, and I think this actually came out before Scanners, but irregardless, I have not seen it in a long time. I wanted to see it. I'm also loosening up on my purchasing on DVDs. There's a lot of movies that just aren't on Blu-ray that I've picked up on DVD now just because you're not going to find them on Blu-ray. I did talk about this one on the show too. This is Blue Jay. This was one of my top 5 recommended movies. I think this is my recommendation of the week. I can't remember because my memory doesn't work very well anymore. But I did talk about this on the show. This has Mark Duplass and, what's her face? Sarah Paulson. This is a really good movie. Little bittersweet, but still a great movie. If you don't like black and white movies, too bad it's in black and white, but it's still really good. Also, another Mark Duplass movie that I watched recently and figured I would add it to my collection. I've seen this movie twice and didn't own it, so I picked it up on eBay, and it is Charlie McDowell's The One I Love, which is written by Justin Lader, but this also has Mark Duplass and Catherine Moss, or I'm sorry, Elizabeth Moss. Catherine Moss is not this person. And this is a lot of fun. This is a really fun movie. Definitely not what you're expecting if you're expecting a romantic comedy. It definitely is a romantic comedy-ish, kind of a dark comedy, but it's also a science fiction film, but I don't want to say too much about it, but this is really good. I also mentioned this one, and I liked this one a lot and realized it wasn't in my collection either. Ruby Sparks, starring Paul Dano and Zoe Kazan. This was written by Zoe Kazan, and it was directed by Jonathan Dayton and Valerie Ferris. But I really, really like this movie. It's about an author who basically writes a woman into life and then falls in love with her, but then kind of gets upset when she wants to be her own person. It's a really good movie. I really liked it. All right, these next ones also were from eBay, but they were through Groove, I believe. But I picked up The Sure Thing with John Cusack and Daphne Zuniga. This was directed by Rob Reiner. We did our Rob Reiner tribute on the show not too long ago, and it reminded me of this. And I thought I had this, but I did not. And I have not seen this one in a really long time. So I picked this one up. This is a movie I saw, I believe, in the theater, but it has been so long since I've seen it, I don't remember anything about it. I just remember that I liked it, and that is Stay Tuned with John Ritter and Pam Dauber. This was directed by Peter Hyams. When did this come out? This was 1992. And yeah, this is sort of a bizarro TV movie. That's all I'll say, because I don't remember exactly what the setup is, but basically they travel through television channels for some reason, and I don't remember. I just remember I kind of liked it, so we'll see if that still holds up. This one I've been wanting to see for a long time, and I just haven't gotten around to seeing it. It is written and directed by Jermaine Clement and Tika Waititi. It is What We Do in the Shadows, and I've heard nothing but good things about this. I know it's a TV series, but I haven't watched that. But I want to see this, so I picked it up. And plugging a big hole in my collection, no pun intended, it's the American Pie collection, all 4 movies in one collection. This was pretty reasonably priced. I think this was less than $14. May have been a little lower than that, but this has obviously American Pie 1 and 2, American Wedding, and American Reunion. I saw all of these in the theater, I believe, except for the third one, I think. But these are fun. I don't know if they've aged particularly well because it's been a while since I've seen them, but we'll see. And these are the unrated versions and the theatrical versions of all 4. Next up from Walmart, I completed my Final Destination collection with Bloodlines. This was on sale cheap. I have not seen the movies leading up to this yet, so I just wanted to get this in the collection, so I have it. But I've heard nothing but good things about this one. So now I have all the Final Destination movies. And then they had some movies in that same slipcover that I got Mars Attacks last month. I picked up Excalibur, which I have not seen in forever. So again, it's basically like a blind buy. I remember watching this. I remember liking it, but I don't remember specifics. But funny story about this, I had to do a report in college about this movie, and they showed the movie in class, but I missed that class. And then I said, well, I'll just go rent it and watch it at home. And then I forget what class it was for. I think it was for an English class. I can't remember exactly, but I could not find this movie anywhere to rent. And I literally was just stuck. I couldn't finish the assignment because I couldn't get a copy of this movie to watch. So now I have it 50 years later. I'm kidding. It's not quite that long. And then I picked this one up. This is also a movie I saw in the theater, but I have not seen it in a very long time. I picked up Martin Scorsese's version of Cape Fear with Robert De Niro, Jessica Lange, Nick Nolte. I saw this in the theater once, and I remember liking it, but again, I don't remember that much about it, so I figured I'd take a chance on it. It was on sale with this goofy slipcover. Here's the actual art. I didn't show you the actual art on Excalibur if you were interested. This is the slipcover, and this is the actual art, which is pretty close. All right. These next ones are from thrift stores. My wife and I went thrifting last weekend, and I was surprised I found some interesting stuff. This one is probably the most interesting of the 4 things that I picked up, but I picked up this movie called The Horror of Spider Island, completely sealed from Something Weird Video. This was at a Goodwill. Again, it's probably really shitty, but especially if Something Weird Video put it out, but I wanted to see it. 8 beautiful women alone with the world's most hideous monster. I've heard it's sort of a German peep show type movie, starring big stars like Alex Darcy, Barbara Valentine, and Helga Frank, and Helga Neuner, and Rainier Brandt. So we'll see what that's like. This one I picked up for 2 reasons. One is that I haven't seen it. 2 is that it features George Clooney, which I always like him in pretty much everything. This is one of his earlier films, but this also has Gene Simmons from Kiss in it, and I haven't seen it. It's called Red Surf, but it's also in this weird-ass case, which I thought was kind of weird and cool. So for $2, I figured, what the hell? I'll pick it up. I don't know why. The back is literally exactly the same as the front, but it has the cast on the back. But yeah, this is kind of an interesting case, so figured I would pick it up. It was $2. Also for $2, I picked up Will Ferrell in Casa de Mi Padre. De Mi Padre. This is supposedly in Spanish. I figured I'd take a chance on it for $2. What the hell? I haven't really heard anything about this. I don't know anybody that's seen this. So if you've seen this, let me know in the comments. And then I also picked this up. This has a pretty good cast. Richard Gere, Don Cheadle, Ethan Hawke, and Wesley Snipes in Brooklyn's Finest. Another blind buy. Another $2. Hopefully well spent. We'll see. These next ones are from Half Price Books. I picked up, I've seen this. It's been a while, but I did have this in my collection and then got rid of it. Figured I'd add it back. It's Attack the Block. British sort of teenagers versus aliens movie. What's the guy's name? Who is the big star in this? John Boyega. Jodie Whittaker is in it. But this was made, written, directed by Joe Cornish. But I remember really liking this, but I've only seen it once. This is a blind buy, believe it or not. This is from Saturday Night Live. This is The Coneheads, or just Coneheads, with Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin. I don't believe I've ever seen this. I've seen bits and pieces of it on cable, but never seen the whole thing. And this was in fantastic shape, so I picked it up. Also picked this up. This is Young Guns, which I have never seen, believe it or not. I saw Young Guns 2, but I never saw Young Guns 1, so we'll see how that stacks up. I bought this. This is a movie. It's in not so great shape case-wise, but the disc is good. But this is a movie I really enjoyed, and I thought I still had it. For some reason, I must have traded it in, but I picked up The Mothman Prophecies. I went to see this when I was working for the theater company. I went to see a screener of this before it was even released and really, really liked it. It's a really creepy-ass movie. Richard Gere's in it, Laura Linney. Who else is in this? Because I know somebody else is in this. Alan Bates, Will Patton, Deborah Messing. And this was directed by Mark Pellington and written by Richard Hatem. And it was based on the book by John Keel, which I believe, it's quite a bit different from. But the Mothman stuff always really sort of piques my interest. But this is a really good movie. Very, very creepy. Also, for some stupid reason, I never owned Starship Troopers. So I picked this up. I'm way overdue for a rewatch on this one. I remember totally missing the point when I saw it the first time. So it's time for a rewatch. The only good bug is a dead bug, it says on the back. But it's been a while since I've seen this one. This is a blind buy. I thought it looked interesting. I don't know anything about it. It was directed by Chris Loafing and Travis Cliff. And stars, who is in this? Jill Aubrey and Bart Johnson. It's called Held. Looks like a crime thriller. Apparently somebody says delightfully creepy, keeps the viewer on edge. A couple's ailing marriage is put to the test when they are held hostage in an isolated vacation rental by an unseen, menacing stranger who controls their every move and inflicts pain if they don't obey. This is a Magnolia movie, so give it a shot. It was on clearance. It was only $3. And then I lucked out. I got this really cheap. This is the Arrow edition of Weird Science with the slipcover, reversible artwork. And this was actually priced pretty nice. This was only, I believe, $12. So I picked this up. Great movie. All right, here's my Temu purchase. You're probably saying, why the hell would you buy this from Temu? It's a Kino Lorber item. I really don't know. I saw it was available and I said, that's a pretty good price. So I ordered it. It's not a knockoff. It came from a local-ish seller, but it is the Airport collection, the 4-film collection. This has Airport, Airport 75, Airport 77, and the Concorde, Airport 79. And I used to watch these movies, well, I don't want to say all the time, but when they would come out, my family would go to the theater to see them. My parents were still married when most of these movies came out, and for some reason, we always went to the movies to see these movies. So they sort of have a nostalgic quality about them. I have not seen them since then, but I remember as a kid liking them. I believe I saw Concorde Airport 79 in the theater as well. So I think I saw all 4 of these in the theater, but I haven't seen them since. And this was priced fairly decently, not recently. So I figured I'd pick it up. And who can't get enough of George Kennedy? And then last but not least, this was my big purchase. I ordered this a long time ago. I did the purchase where I'm actually listed in the credits. This is the In Search of Darkness, the 90s, the complete journey into 90s horror. It comes with both films. It comes with In Search of Darkness 1990 to 1994 and the more recent one, which is In Search of Darkness 1995 to 1999. I have the 80s series. These guys are also putting out a documentary on The Thing, which is coming out soon. But yeah, my name is in the credits for this with about a gajillion other people, so it's not like I'm special. But for the newer movie, my name's in the credits because I pre-ordered this and spent probably more than I should have. But it came with posters and stickers, and I got a little certificate that I'm a producer. I just thought it was a nice way to contribute back to the horror community to help this production get off the ground. Not that they needed my money by any stretch of the imagination, but I just wanted to play a little part in it, so I kicked some money in towards it. So yeah, that's it. That's everything for February of 2026. As always, thanks for watching till the end of the video. I appreciate your attention span. What do you think what do you think is the best pickup that I got this month? And what interests you? And what have you seen that I haven't? Let me know in the comments below. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, take it easy.